Hi and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about our microbiomes. Pretty much we all have trillions of single cell organisms living on the inside and outside of our bodies. Before you freak out and bust out the Purell, I want you to keep in mind that 99.9% of these little critter friends are safe and they play a protective role for our bodies. We need to learn everything we can about them and how to take care of them so that they can take care of us. So, as you will recall, I had a grandpa who passed away from colon cancer. And a few years after he passed away, I started to develop some really frightening digestive symptoms that just were not going away. I dealt with them for a few years. I knew I needed to do something about it. I had two friends at the time, a man and a woman, who also had some pretty severe digestive issues, and both of them ended up with colostomy bags. And it just seemed like a horrible alternative. So I knew I needed to fix my problem, but I also wasn't necessarily ready to take that step. So I decided I was going to give myself 3 months to make some major changes to the way that I was eating to see if that would have any impact on my digestive issues. And so I adopted what at the time I thought was an extremely strict diet. No meat, no dairy, really limited sugars, and I tried to just really only eat fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. It took 3 months, but my gut issues completely went away. Now they only return when I eat things that I know cause the issues. So I eat it knowing it's going to have an effect later. But when I stay away from the foods that are causing my digestive issues, I have no problems whatsoever. And at the time, it felt like this miraculous change, and it gave me a lot of hope that I could be better and wasn't going to have to suffer with these problems for the rest of my life. What I learned is there are basically two types of microbiomes that people can have. One microbiome feeds off of processed foods, saturated fats, and sugars, and those little bacteria create an inflammatory response in our body, which then, when your body has ongoing inflammation, is what leads to all these chronic diseases that we're seeing in America. And the second type of microbiome loves to feed off of fiber and plant foods. And that microbiome creates an anti-inflammatory effect in our body, a protective and healing effect in our body. So depending on the type of food you eat, you're feeding critters that will do one thing or the other. So before, when I was having all my digestive problems, you can guess what type of diet I was eating. And then when I changed over to a plant-based diet, all those issues went away. And along with a lot of other issues I didn't even really recognize at the time, but inflammatory issues I was dealing with that are now gone because I focus on a plant food rich diet. One of the major ways I was able to heal my gut was to add fermented foods to my diet. So I'm sure you've heard of sauerkraut and kimchi. A lot of people also like to take little probiotic capsules and break them into soy milk and put them in their Instant Pot, and they can make their own soy yogurt to then flavor however their heart's desire. I learned to make my own kefir, but because I don't drink dairy, I made my kefir with almond milk. What kefir is pretty much a probiotic rich drink that floods your digestive system with good bacteria. And it helped me so much. We continue to drink it daily, my family and I, in a smoothie that I make. It's had a huge impact on the health of my family and the healthy gut microbes in my body. So I highly recommend looking into how to make your own almond milk kefir. And if you have digestive issues, including that, it doesn't taste very good on its own. I personally don't think it tastes very good on its own. But if I put it in a smoothie, and the smoothie that I make for my family, the recipe for that is included in the recipes section in the members section on the website. That smoothie, we just make it every day, and I can't even taste that the kefir is in it, but those little guys are hard at work helping to protect me and my family. So, our final thought for today's video. What type of microbiome are you feeding? And you can pretty much tell by how you feel, by how your digestion is doing, and by what, if any, diseases you are suffering from. Feeding a healthy microbiome reaps benefits for your whole life and will protect you from getting sick, will help your duration of illnesses be shorter and less intense if you do get sick. It just protects you from all the chronic inflammatory diseases that all of America is suffering from today. So I invite you to make the changes that you need to include far more fiber in your diet from plant foods, and to let go of some of the foods that are fighting against you, and to give the good guys a fighting chance. All right, we'll see you in the next video.